Careful on the grounds that I may be incinerated. I said that to one fella and he said, burn, baby, burn.
Oh, no. That's me.
Yeah. The concept that the secular mind accepts, in fact, most people accept the Big Bang. There are scientists that object to it, but by far the greater majority accept the Big Bang. And in the Big Bang, they tell us that space, time, and matter came into existence simultaneously. In fact, Stephen Hawkins, he died the other day, Stephen Hawkins. He died?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Like a month or two ago,
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Stephen Hawkins, Roger Penrose, and Albert Ellis, they were looking at Einstein's theory of general relativity. Whatever that is, I'm not going to explain that right now. But they noticed that Einstein could have gone further in his equations. So when they extrapolated the equations of general relativity, they discovered that time, space, and matter had a beginning. That means there was not always time. I'm not going to say there was a time when there was no time. That's an awful expression, right? There was not always time. There was not always space, and that there was not always matter. The question about the origin makes sense only if this thing exists in time, space, and matter. But God exists outside of that. Before there was time, space, and matter, God existed. So he transcends. He can enter into time, space, and matter, but he transcends time, space, and matter. So because he does not exist in time, it doesn't make sense to ask what is his origin. Who made him? Because he doesn't have a beginning. If there's no time, there's no beginning. And he's a being that exists outside of time.
So is that our answer? If somebody were to ask us
that's the answer.
That he transcends time,
space, and matter.
But scientifically, how do we show that? Like, did I miss it?
We were using scientific.
Okay.
That's
why I'm recording this.
Yes. In that, Hawkins, Penrose, and Ellis, when they extrapolated Einstein's equations, his theory of general relativity, they discovered that time, space, and matter had a beginning simultaneously. One cannot exist without the other.
Okay.
If you have matter, it has to be a space in which to put it. And there has to be a time in which it exists. Space, time, and matter, just as Genesis chapter 1 said,
in the beginning,
time, God created the heavens, space, and
matter, the earth.
And the earth. The word eretz means matter. And in the beginning, the beginning of time. So time, space, and matter had a beginning simultaneously. So if anybody asks you who created God, that question doesn't make sense because God exists outside of space, time, and matter.
And if he was in time, he couldn't be eternal. He couldn't create.
Right. That
makes
sense.
God is eternal. That means he exists in past, present, and future from our frame of reference. Right. For God, there's no past, present, and future. He's in the eternal present.
I wanted to hear you say that. I just backed out.